Class is in session. College basketball hitting the book show. Tuesday, January 20th. Ian Cameron, Connor Mack, ready to break down the Tuesday college basketball slate. And I emphasize saying the word basketball because college football is over. It is all over after last night, and congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers. And I am ready to say it. It is the greatest coaching job and turnaround I think I've ever seen in sports. That's how incredible this is. This is a program that had been a bottom feeder in college football for my whole lifetime. It was college football purgatory, the cellar dwellers, the Indiana Hoosiers. They never won anything, always bottom of the Big Ten finish for the most part. They had one good year with Tom Allen there a few years ago. But really, other than that, I mean, it has been a doormat in college football. And for Curt Cignetti to engineer this 2-year turnaround, and now national champions. It's one of the great stories you'll ever see from a coaching standpoint. But congratulations, C-Mac, to the Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah, I thought it was a great game. You know, with
that said, Miami covered. Miami gets the
Miami covered. Their defense played well, and the offense finally got going. One problem, I thought there was a few, obviously, blown calls there. I mean, helmet to the chin. A little surprising how these guys, they tap them, and there's a flag. And I thought that other one, that hold, it was on Cooper. I mean, there's some blatant penalties, but fuck it, who cares? I'd rather have them play, I guess. It's just either no flags or throw them all over the place. But I thought they played well, and I thought the one mistake in the offensive line for Miami was really, really good.
Yes.
That's what did it. And I think, what I think Indiana thought after the first half? We can just cover these guys and drop back and it'll work. That started to not work. I thought, and to get back to make him do stuff, you got to put heat on him, and he had time. So I thought that was, I would have been running blitzes there, and they got him on their heels and they got rolling, a little bit, the offense. But I thought he'd make even more mistakes. He didn't. In the end, he did make the big one. At the end of the game, my guy. First back, but he played well. Other than that.
He did. But you knew it was coming.
But it was a middling night for me. Cooper Surratt didn't get his. Cooper got his.
Yeah.
I had the first half under. I didn't get the team total. I was worried about the hook. I talk about this shit all the time.
Team total, right? Lost by the hook with the team total. Yet I had the full game over. Just cashed barely with that.
You got it.
Late. Yeah.
I know. You got it there. So but it was a very good game.
It was good. Yeah. Good
and Indiana,
not an all-time classic, but a good, entertaining game. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, definitely a good game.
All right, let's move to the start. I didn't
get to the hoops.
No time to do graphics, guys, today. I'm sorry about that, but that we'll make up for that. But so no graphics, no individual game graphics, but we do have a starting five for you, 5 marquee games that we have isolated, and then we'll get into our individual bets from the other games that we like. But we'll start with NC State and Clemson. Clemson 2.5-point favorites, 140.5 the total. I'm just going to buy into who I think's the more talented team. And I think the more talented roster is NC State. So I took NC State here +3. I know it's Clemson at Little John, and they're 10-0 at home. Part of me also thinks, well, they're 10-0 at home. They've played good basketball at home. Why are they only laying 2.5, though? I think it's because NC State's a team that's capable of going on the road and winning this game. And I like the spot for NC State, too, because they're coming off a staggering loss against Georgia Tech, 78-74 in their last game as 17.5-point favorites. I like this bounce back spot for NC State. Sometimes you need to go on the road after getting not your ass handed to you, but a loss you shouldn't have had at home against Georgia Tech, and that gets you going. Plus, let's not forget with Clemson, this 16-3 season, 10-0 at home. They haven't played a great slate at home either. SMU is probably their toughest game, and they just slipped by. I mean, Miami's been up and down. Boston College isn't great. I like this spot for NC State. I took the 3. The 2.5, I still like it. C-Mac, what do you think? Anything you like here? NC State, Clemson.
This one's, I just haven't bet it, was the total. Real quick on the side. Yeah, a lot of their home wins, haven't been crazy by March. A lot of 3, 4, right where we have this number. NC State, the thing with them is I've seen them in Kansas game go cold and other games be red hot shooting. It's been a little bit, and they've been pretty good from inside and then outside as well from 3. So that'll help out. But I don't know, because when I look at this, I want the under in this game. I just think Clemson a little bit wants this game in the 60s. This is right around kind of their total that they've had all year. They just went on. They've gone under the last couple. They had a real low one against Notre Dame that slipped over. But, yeah, I think the under, to me, was the look in this game.
All right, next game, we've got Seton Hall, St. John's, a little Big East action here. St. John's, 11.5-point home favorites, 144 the total here in this game. St. John's and Rick Pitino, there was a time earlier in the year that, didn't look like they were playing great, and even Rick Pitino was voicing concerns about, just the progress of the team and would they be getting better. It's safe to say they're starting to put it together. There's no doubt. 4 straight wins, 4 straight covers in the Big East, road wins at Butler and Creighton and Villanova, and then they pummeled Marquette in a home game as well. We'll see if they can carry that over here to this game against Seton Hall. Seton Hall, the last 2 games haven't been great. I mean, while they did cover against UConn, and I remember having Seton Hall plus the points, it was close, but we ended up getting the money there. They lost by 5, covered the number. And then the last game against Butler, 6.5-point home favorites, and Butler's been struggling mightily, and Seton Hall drops that game, losing outright to Butler, 77-66. So off back-to-back losses. Can they go on the road? Can they compete here against this St. John's team? It is worth noting that last year St. John's beat Seton Hall handily at Seton Hall, but the rematch at St. John's, it was a 10-point game. Seton Hall was a big dog and covered. Seton Hall's been actually under Holloway, and this is not just this year. This goes back years. He's been very good on the road. His teams have been very good in neutral site games, and they've been very good catching points. Well, we got him on the road where they've been good, and we've got him on the road catching points on the road where they've been really good. And they're off 2 losses in a row. It kind of feels like I'm stepping in front of just a little bit of a freight train revving up here with St. John's, 4 straight wins and 4 straight covers. But I actually think Seton Hall can stay inside a number like this. So I'm going to give Seton Hall a shot here. Give me these Pirates plus 11.5 here in this game. C-Mac, what do you think? Pirates and Red Storm.
Yeah, St. John's. I just went against them. They had a good win against Villanova. I had a big second half in that game too. Basically scored 50.
And they did not start well, and then they roared on in the second half.
Oh, yeah. So that's the little bit of a problem here is with this offense. And they get going, Hopkins, all that they have. But you know why I like Seton Hall is the defense, even though they're not a great team scoring-wise, and it could be a struggle, and it shows, and they see all their numbers. Just 43% from the field. That's 280, on and on. And I wanted to look at. I don't think it's they're too bad. 73%, I guess, from the free throw line. They get there on all right. So that's what you get with St. John's. They want to get up and down. Like they dictate this pace. I don't know if they cover because I don't think they do, but it goes over. With their scoring. If Seton Hall stays in it, because I think they can cover, this number might be tight on the total. I can see how people think it's too low for St. John's, but this is high for Seton Hall. So I like the points too. Maybe this is I just think it's too much. St. John's this good? I don't think so. Well, Seton Hall's been very good on the road. Yeah, I got to take.
Cast has stepped up for St. John's. That's the difference. I thought too much was on the shoulders of the big man before. Edge of 4. Yeah. They put too much on his plate. Now all of a sudden, Bryce Hopkins, the Providence transfer, started to get things rolling. Dylan Mitchell's been good lately. Like the cast is starting to pick things up here for this St. John's team. And I guess one of the concerns here would be for the Seton Hall is not a ton of great scoring options. Staten McRae's very good, but a lot of the other guys for the Seton Hall team, you never know what you're going to get from them shooting the basketball, and that's always. But they can defend, they can be physical, it can keep them in games. It was their defense that got the stops against UConn to pull them back into that game. A couple of games ago. We'll see if the defense can keep them in it here tonight. I think they're worth a look in this spot.
Need it for the road. I mean, that's why they've been good on the road. And even good ATS.
That travels, correct. 100%. Michigan State and Oregon next up. Michigan State, 10.5-point road favorites. Total here at 137.5. I mean, the lean is Oregon. But, again, I'm waiting. right now. I feel like with Oregon, we know we know they're going to get better, and it's just when do you want to start buying in on Oregon becoming better? Are we there yet that they covered against Michigan and only lost by 10 is that a sign of progress for Dana Altman's team? If it is, you want to take the points here with Oregon because it's a lot of points. And Michigan State, while they did blast Washington at the start of this little 2-game West Coast road trip, 80-63, it's not easy to have to play that second game, that second leg of the road trip by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm kind of interested in Oregon plus the points. That being said, they got to continue to show improvement on the defensive end, and the last few games have still been rough at that end of the basketball court for Oregon in Big Ten action, no question. So, and like I said, with the injuries too, let's keep an eye on this. I'm seeing Nate Biddle still out for this.
Yeah, he's not going to play, right?
Yeah, he's definitely out. Biddle. He's not coming back, and we know how important he is. So, I don't know. I kind of want to take this many points with Oregon in this game, but I am looking at this as probably a stay off. Maybe I get involved with Oregon, but I do lean that way. C-Mac, what do you think?
Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, Ramon Scott in the chat. What have we done to deserve this great honor? Ramon, good to see you.
Ha! Great honor. Get out of here. No graphics. I'm out. No, shout out to my guy, Ramon Scott.
Yeah, he's a great guy. AJ Stogstill, PlayStation 3 gameplay, Nick Alvento, Elmore67, Daniel Abuna, Nick Handy. We appreciate everybody. Shout out to all of you.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys, as always, up and in here. That's how I feel. I mean, with Biddle, can they score? This is the problem. And they played well in that first half, Oregon in their last game. And then just, of course, they cover that huge number. That was 18 and a half. Books put this right at 10 and a half, right where that is. It was just a lean I can't back Oregon, even though I think at home catching 10 points, even how banged up they are, but I can't do it.
Like in Oregon contain Jeremy Fears. That guy is on a heater right now for Michigan State.
He's a good ball player, yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, not easy. Washington, Oregon. Oregon has these guys in. Of course, the line probably is a little bit smaller here. I don't know, 7.5, maybe something like that. But I think they were playing on. But yeah, it was just a lead for me here in my list to the right. This was on there. Oregon. Yeah.
Well, keep in mind, people are shitting on Oregon and this team and how much they've struggled. They've had a shit ton of injuries. Let's cut them a little bit of slack as well for the Oregon Ducks. They have had a lot to deal with on the injury front this season as well, which is not.
You can't score.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. What was the game I remember? Of course, Nebraska. That was at Nebraska. It was having an unbelievable year, 55. But Ohio State at home, 62 points. I think it's like. That ain't going to get done.
No.
Yeah.
No, that ain't going to cut it. You are 100% right about that. This could be the next game here. This could be one of the games I'm most excited about because there should be a lot of points and it should be up and down. Vanderbilt, Arkansas. We've got Arkansas, Vandy, 1.5-point road favorites at Bud Walton and 174.5, 175 the total here in this game. One thing that has come in handy for me this year is that I have not shied away. I have not talked myself out of betting overs with high numbers. And I feel this goes over. I do, even though it's a very, very high number, 174.5. Arkansas games, especially at home, they're going to get this thing going up and down. Vanderbilt and Arkansas are both top 40 in the country in pace, possessions per game. 7-0 run to the over in the last 7 meetings between the Commodores and the Razorbacks. That's right. 7 straight have gone over in the series between these two teams. You got both teams off losses. So I think there's going to be aggressiveness to find that open look, get that shot going offensively here in this game. I could see it from both sides. So I think it's a high-scoring game. I like this over quite a bit, 175. Now that Arkansas is a home dog, I kind of lean that way. And I love Byington. I love what he's done here with Vanderbilt. He's done a phenomenal job in a couple of years here. But Arkansas is not a home dog very often. And I know we've seen them in some of these spots at home step up and get the job. Louisville, earlier in the season in non-conference play, Arkansas was able to get the job done against them. So I think Arkansas here, plus 1.5. I think it's worth a look now. A little bit of a discount and a bargain, in my opinion, here with the Razorbacks. I mean, it's certainly maybe. I think it's also because Vanderbilt's actually won 2 in a row here in Arkansas. They've beaten them each of the last 2 years here at Arkansas. Vanderbilt. I think that plays a role in why Vanderbilt's a slight road favorite, but I think this Arkansas team might be a little bit better than some of those last 2 versions. So I lean. I think Arkansas, now that they're a slight home dog, I think they're worth some kind of bet here as well. Like the over though, most of all. CMAC, what do you think?
Yeah, both these teams off losses. Andy finally back to back, and when they shoot the ball, I just thought the regression was going to come a little bit with his offense. They had been lights out when you go back and look at the numbers in their games. They're just shooting it crazy good. So yeah, I think they'll be up for it. And early on, Danny just going on the road and winning. I think this is Arkansas here. I don't know if I love this team at times. Some of the guys on it, Pringle. These guys have been around a little bit for them, but I like the spot. These teams both shoot the ball well. They get to the free throw line. If you like, you're over. That's why it's that high. Yeah. But man, these teams get there and make a decent amount. I mean,
that's what you want with an over. Points with the clock stopped and teams that can drain those free throws. Yep.
Yeah. So I took Arkansas. Yeah, I just took a money line. I got plus 100 was the best number I got. I'm on them. Andy, me 3 straight losses after coming. Well, they start 17-0, something like that. Yeah.
All right, the last game for the starting 5 segment. Another Big Ten West Coast game. Purdue, UCLA. We've got Purdue currently 5.5, 6-point road favorites, 147.5 the total. I think we have a live home dog here. I really do. Purdue is 0-4 against the spread their last 4. They've been winning and doing just enough to get by. A lot of it's because their defense has kind of faltered. Last game, their defense stepped it up against USC, but they didn't make a ton of shots. The offense kind of went cold in the second half, and they were only able to beat USC by 5. That was their 4th straight game they didn't cover. They're just not winning by big margins. Even the home wins, they only beat Washington by 8. They only beat Penn State by 8, and they were 22.5-point favorites in that game. And then they were 10.5-point favorites against Iowa, and they only lost by 7. UCLA, I want no part of them on the road, and they keep showing you why over and over again. They just haven't been very good away from home. Iowa blew them out. Wisconsin, they lost by margin. Ohio State, they got blown up. The only road win they got was Penn State. Penn State's one of the worst teams. So, like I said, UCLA on the road, you don't want to back them, but now they're back at home here at Pauley. They got a Purdue team that's been struggling to win by margin lately. Only beat USC by 5 in their last game. And after the Ohio State loss, I think with Purdue coming into town here, I think you're going to get Mick Cronin's team playing hard, playing well. And defensively, I think they can do enough to keep them in it. It's always the shooting for them. It comes down to that. You're going to be able to make enough shots to stay in the game. But I think it's a good spot. Purdue's not covering his favorites lately. Give me the Bruins here, plus 6. CMAC, what do you think? Purdue, UCLA.
Justin, what up, my man? Great to see you. AJ, as always. Jay Peasy. UCLA can't rebound. They can't at times.
No, that's true.
Yeah. Some of these guys, Daly needs to be better. Yeah, that could be big. But I think this is the time if you want to take them. Purdue here, LA swing. I already was just mad I didn't have big money on SC in the weekend. I think I talked about it a little bit. We talked about it on Friday's show. But I didn't get it done. You know who needs to be big here? It's, we saw him so long at New Mexico is Dent. He's had very sporadic numbers.
Oh, he has not been a consistent player one game to the next. Some games you have a big game, and then 13 points is a mundane game from him last game.
I mean, he's only averaging that, right? He's averaging like 12 points on the year.
He's not been the offensive dynamo to make this offense a whole lot better. That's what Mick was thinking, recruiting him and bringing him in on the transfer portal, but it hasn't panned out the way he thought.
He needs to get his shit together. Yes. I think he does tonight. I would look at him, his points in this game. So, yeah, I like UCLA plus 6. Purdue is very, very good. Like, these are great games. They go on and win by 10. Like, you just, I have to take it as a handicapper, just tip my cap to them a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. If they do it, but I think the number's a little big. It's just not an easy place to play. And UCLA needs wins. This shit is what you were talking about earlier. Bad on the road. And Big Ten, they just, it seems like they go on the road and just lose. Didn't they wanted Penn State. Of course, Penn State's nothing crazy. They had a bad shooting night. They won by 11, 71-60. But yeah, I think you got to get these games at home, or at least keep it tight. We're getting 6 here. So I'm on UCLA.
All right, we agree. UCLA.
Hey.
They might be live here tonight against Purdue at Pauley. All right, good stuff. C-Mac, let's go right back to you. All the other games on the board that we have not talked about yet. What do you like most?
Yeah, we touched on that under NC State Clemson. I don't have a ton of totals. One over I like. That Auburn game didn't get there, but I think this game can. Auburn, Ole Miss. I want it in the 150.
Every game
151.
Auburn games are being bet under. Every game lately.
This has gone under a little bit.
Yeah, it's taking money. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just not how they play. And it's low enough here. This isn't 156 or 158 where I'd maybe, when I go through it, that you got to have great shooting. So I think that could get over. That's just one over.
There was an Auburn-Missouri game recently on this show. We talked about it. We were stunned the number went down as much as it did, and it got down to this range, like that low 150s, and it ended up going over. It was Auburn-Missouri. Just happened. It was a game that just happened recently. Maybe this is
that was like a 5-point drop, right? 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ole Miss here. I want to click 7-2 at home. Are they getting better defensively? Really? Their numbers don't show. We know Auburn isn't that good defensively. They want to get up and down. So Ole Miss has been a little bit hard to figure out. Off 3 straight wins, though, finally getting it going. Yeah. The bad loss at Oklahoma. They lose at home at Arkansas, so 3 good wins. I think it just correlates to them shooting it well. That was just one of the overs I was looking at there in that game. We touched on Seton Hall. This is a game I think it's tough for me. I like a team, in basketball we talk about a lot. I want a team that can shoot it well. They just don't play defense, and they're a home dog. It's Buffalo here. And Akron's just owned them, too. Buffalo's really bad. They just kick the living shit out of them all the time, it seems like, year in and year out. But I think they have the scores. I just can't make the stops, because I kind of like them here today, plus 7.5. But I'm not crazy there. Missouri here. I'll give you one more. I think they can win at home. This team's undefeated at home. This should be a really good game. They do it a little more of a slower pace. They're a team that's has played pretty good defense, done the little things. So Missouri was another one that I was looking at. Last couple here, I'll throw it to you. And we'll take questions at the end. We don't hit on these games. Shoot it in the chat. Tell us what you're betting anyways, or just tell us what we want to talk about on a game that we haven't talked about for sure. Texas Tech Baylor. Texas Tech wants to get up and down and score, but I think this total is too high. Maybe Baylor's in for a great shooting because they need it. That's the one thing I'm worried about because I think this game is under. They just haven't been able to score. This Baylor team, they're just and if they win, can they win a game and score 80? I mean, at home here, it's showing that they're alive. I think today, but I don't know if I can get there. But that under, I thought had some value. 154.5. I thought it was a little bit too high. I think that's about it for me. I looked at Colorado at home. I think that's too short. I couldn't get there in the end. You look at that Colorado game?
That one's a stay away. Normally I'd like Colorado, but I wonder if Kansas has flipped the switch because they were struggling.
Yeah.
And those were 2 damn good wins. Iowa State and Baylor back to back at home. But now can you translate that on the road? But you're better than Colorado. You are. I know for a fact you got a better team than Colorado. So I don't know if I want to step in front of the Jayhawks. I passed that game. Didn't get involved in it.
Same. You remember last year? Yeah. I had Colorado 6.5.
Yeah.
Basically cover the whole game at 64-71.
Terrible. Yeah. That's what I feel this is. Like Kansas wins by
I know,
6.
that's what,
just cover. Yeah.
I
Yeah, no
know.
Bill Self. Yeah, that's a concern.
Yeah, he's out.
Help Kansas either. The coach situation and that's getting concerned. He's had a
It's
couple
pretty
of
normal. That's norm for him now. He's
yeah.
like, he's health issues. So, yeah.
Speaking of Baylor, Texas Tech is better than Baylor, I would say, but watch out for this spot because Baylor, it looks like they're terrible, right? They keep losing Big 12 games. Well, look who they played. They played Kansas, they played Iowa State, they played Houston, they played all the best teams in the Big 12 recently. And so, be careful with I think Baylor actually +2. I'm kind of leaning in that direction at home in that game against Texas Tech. And Texas Tech's only 1-2 on the road this year. Keep that in mind. And Baylor, like I said, Baylor's not been playing great, but they've also faced a very, very difficult schedule here in the early part of the Big 12 season. For me, I'm on UMass in the over against Toledo. I know that game is just about to start. I am on UMass there. I'm on the over and Minnesota. It's not that Minnesota's great, but now we're getting to Ohio State laying 8.5. I'm not sure I'm ready to trust them in that kind of a price range. I like the over with Indiana, Michigan. I like the over with St. Louis and Duquesne, which is at 165 right now. That should be ice. St. Louis just plays fast, and they could score in bunches, the Billikens. So I think St. Louis, Duquesne could be a solid over there in that game. Kind of lean South Carolina +2 against Oklahoma. I just don't trust Oklahoma laying points on the road right now. What I continue to see out of them, very disappointing. And I'm going to take some Hilton Magic tonight. Iowa State off back-to-back. Maybe they're just not playing well right now. Maybe I should stay off because they haven't looked right. Iowa State the last 2 games, losing to Kansas, losing to Cincinnati on the road over the weekend. But now they're back home. We know how strong that home court is. Maybe they just absolutely dismantle UCF. I think there's potential for that anyway. So, like I said, I think Iowa State, the Cyclones, might be sitting on a good effort there in that one. What else have we got? Oh, I'm on Wyoming. I'm fading Boise a lot. Boise does not look great. I know they finally won against Colorado State, but even that game, they were up and they let Colorado State back into it. And it did snap the little losing streak that they've had, but going to Laramie is not easy, and I like Wyoming there at a near pick 'em at home to get the job done there in that one. A little piece of Rutgers plus the points. Wake Forest at home, I think, is in a good spot. I like Wake against SMU. Near pick 'em at home. Lean over in that game as well. And, the late game, UNLV, Utah State. As CMAC would say, over. And I think Utah State might be worth their team total over. They're coming off that loss to Grand Canyon. Great call by CMAC. If you watched the members show last Friday, and he said one of the games he liked Saturday in college basketball was Grand Canyon, home dog against Utah State. And Grand Canyon got the job done there in that game. So now back home, Utah State, they could put a big number on the board against UNLV. So for me, that's some kind of Utah State team total over, full game over with that game against UNLV.
Yeah, the spot's good. I would take the team total. I don't know if I want to lay that many points. UNLV, I think they're looking at it. There's like when you go through everything, it's like I think they're going to shoot the ball better. It's not there. I think they still have the streak though. They haven't lost it. The 3-pointer streak every game. They're shooting 30%, 328. They shoot 67% from the free throw line.
I'll be honest too. He was in TV for the last couple of years, but before that, a lot of years as a head coach, and had some good moments, I guess, with both programs, Memphis, Georgia Tech. But I'm still not a big Josh Pastner fan. He's an okay coach. He's not a great coach. That's kind of where I'm at with him.
Yeah, he's like.
Yeah,
I see him around on TV and everything. He's just like, he loves the TV. He loves the interviews. It's like, get out and fucking coach.
Yeah,
come on. Yeah. Around here they just want wins. So it's like, and he's yakking like it's coming around. Yeah. We got the best players, blah 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 blah. It's like, come on, pass.
It's not really looking like it right now.
Get the fuck on the sidelines. Do your job, bud.
No doubt. No doubt. Good stuff. All right, guys. We appreciate you guys joining us. Remember, tomorrow, Wednesday, members only, hitting the books. Friday, members only hitting the books. Tomorrow it'll be NHL, NBA, college basketball. Friday we'll do the same sports. And, of course, NFL Championship Sunday, Conference Championship Sunday on Friday's show. We'll break it down. Final four, NFL style. Denver, New England in the AFC. God, that NFC game could be spectacular. I've got high hopes that's going to be a fucking slobber knocker. Rams.
I think it is going to be good.
Sunday night. Yeah.
What about the AFC, though, real quick?
That's going to be a better.
Pat's going to go in there and cruise? I think it's going to be better. I mean,
Stay tuned for Friday to find the answer. It's a nice little tease. A nice little tease and a reason to become a member as well. JPZ. Ugly dog, hold your nose. I grabbed just a tiny piece of Air Force. I just thought 20 was a lot of points.
Yeah. Man, they've been bad.
Yeah.
But it is a shit ton of points.
I don't trust Colorado State in a margin like that. So, small.
Even at home. Yeah. I mean, when I see that too, it's like, if they just shoot it decent. We talked about Colorado State, super slow, basically when they dead last. In the country, like Air Force team, like if they get to 60, they're covering. I mean, their team total is 56.5. So, I mean, it's just like they score enough because how slow that game will be as its total is 133. And then the line's that big. Like, I think they can hang with it. I've watched some Air Force games. Like, man, usually they're a little bit better. They've been horrible. I mean, the last couple of years, Air Force basketball, tough watch. Tough.
No doubt. All right, C-Mac, it's time to wrap up because I've got the Ice Guys Live Betcast coming up tonight.
Live. What's the game you're running?
All night, 7 p.m. to midnight. We just threw all the games for the.
I didn't know if there was one game you're focusing on.
It's an all-night Betcast.
All night. Drunk fest.
I'm not going to ask you to join. You're feeling like shit here these next 2 days. We'll get it.
I'm feeling better today. I felt horrible all day yesterday, again last night. So. If I'm feeling good enough and crack a beer, I will be there.
Yeah, okay. Maybe a late night appearance here from CMAC on the Betcast.
Late night. Nothing better, too, than
Betcast are so much fun. Yeah. They definitely are.
I love betting all sports live, but NHL. It's great.
Yeah, no question. You know what's also great is cash and best bets. Let's see if we can do that here for this Tuesday night. Best bet, CMAC, what do you got for us?
There's two. I mean, I already put out Arkansas. I'm on it, but I'll give you this one. UCLA. I'm on them. +6 tonight. Mick, get your shit together. Mickey boy. UCLA +6. Best bet.
I'm going Wyoming. Ride 'em, Cowboy. Wyoming Cowboys. I don't think Boise State's fixed because they beat Colorado State at home, and barely, by the way. This is not an impressive win, and they were not playing good basketball. It's not easy to win at Wyoming. I think this will be a tricky game for the Broncos. Give me Wyoming, near pick'em. You can take Wyoming money line here in this game against Boise State, little Mountain West action. Yeah, -112 on the money line. Wyoming, like to beat Boise State for my best bet. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Appreciate it. Hit the like button on the way out. Again, we're on 2 more shows this week, both for members only of the Hitting the Books YouTube channel. So become a member. We appreciate it very much. Members only, Hitting the Books shows tomorrow and Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern.
We'll have Monday college basketball with good slates. So, we're getting to the thick of it more. We'll have a little bit more college basketball action.
Yeah, the non-members shows now are all college basketball until we get to MLB, which, believe it or not, will be here in 2 months. All right, C-Mac, great show as always. Always good. C-Mac, thanks again for Connor, me, and Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games, and good luck. And we will see you tomorrow on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, for a members-only edition of the Hitting the Books show. Until then, class dismissed.
Peace.